Hi, I'm Chandan. I'm the Chief Data Officer for Energy Industries Division at ABB. I think partly you gave me the answer in the data itself. And when you talk about data, right, as a CDO, how do you make data management more simpler? I think putting a right strategy in place for your end-to-end data threading. Basically, what it means is from the time data is created to the time the data is, if I have to call, archived or removed from the systems, there's a complete strategy in place, which means you have to have the right data engineering platforms. You need to have the right solution architecture in place. You need to have the right data governance in place, which is the encompassing umbrella for overall data organization. And of course, you have to have a right data outcomes organization, which, looking at the different personas of organization, can produce the right products or the results. For example, you have executives, you have managers across organizations, you have a regular employee, you have analysts in the organizations. Now, to make data available to them in the simplest of way, that's what a data CDO is supposed to do, using the different strategies that can be implemented, right? Implementing right data engineering to give a right solution. That is where the right outcome will come out, which will help make the right people make the decisions using data. So rather than using their intuitions or rather than trying to do manual calculations, how do you bring in products by personas, which makes life easier for them to give our data-driven decision-making systems in place. So that's one of the strategies where our entire end-to-end data threading, our data organization establishment can help an organization. And that's pretty much the role of CDO, that you bring the right governance in place, you bring in the right technologies and the right people to have the right data systems available. And then, of course, at the last, make the right insights available. And then, of course, the most important answer you said, how do you make data as a commodity to commercialize it so that you make the right decisions and then you, of course, generate the value out of it. You said data as a new oil. I would say data is not the oil. Data is, I would say, a nuclear reactor material, because digital is forever. Data will live forever. It's up to a person to harness what information they can generate out of it for however long that's needed. I think it's a very, very valid question, and I think it's a in the overall data organization, I think data governance plays a very significant role, because data governance not just encompasses around who gets to see the data, but it encompasses around the data quality, the data integrity, the data completeness. And I think looking at putting up the right systems in place, doing the right audits in place, by having automated routines to bring in the data from different systems, putting in the right checks and balances to ensure from the source to your, let's say, the data repository, which is used for your analytics, how is the quality of data? Is the data complete between the two systems? So governance plays a very significant role in not just giving the access to data, but it ensures the completeness, the accuracy, the trustworthiness of data by implementing routines and by implementing strategies wherein user can start having more trust in data. How do I ensure when I'm looking at the data, is it the most recent one? Is it the most trusted one? Is it my data accurate? That is where the data governance kind of solves in. Now, you can implement multiple ways of doing it. I just gave an example. You can have simple audits in systems between your data routines when our data is getting replicated, or between data transformation. You can have functional audits, you can have technical audits to ensure between the two systems it is accurate, it is absolute. And then that is what publishing those metrics will give trust to people that yes, I see my data from this system as an analytical data system, but I see it as complete. Therefore, I can trust this data. So I think one of the major KPIs that you would want to publish to your users is the completeness and the accuracy of data, which would help people start trusting in the data. And I think that is where data governance would play a significant role. I mean, the event is fantastic. I think Shailesh presented some fantastic views of Geo. I mean, it was very insightful to learn about Ashtang AI, and then we had a great discussion about the biases. Google presented it's a single unified platform. I think that is something I would say is a great strategy, because a lot of organizations struggle to bring in data into one platform. And I think some of the organizations which bring in data into large systems, they struggle with performance. And I think that is where I've heard BigQuery has been very successful. I think one of your basically gold sponsors, Single Store. I've been a consumer of Single Store long back when it was called MemSQL. So I think it is a great platform, and I think learning about these different products, learning about different strategies, it is fantastic. I think the event is turning out to be a good one for anybody who is in data and AI space to understand how you can bring in consolidated data, how you can leverage different technologies to bring value, and of course commercialize your data.